entered your destination.
Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling here on YouTube. My name is Tony, and you guys can follow me on Twitter, link in the description below. And today we're going to talk about WCW Legend being confirmed for AEW's Double or Nothing. Really exciting news when you consider some of the recent signings haven't been necessarily that big in the wrestling industry. Also, we're going to talk about AEW signing a top indie talent, which I think is going to be a very nice signing, but I also have a little bit of criticism. So of course, with the good, you have to speak a little bit of the negative to keep somewhat of a balance, and that's exactly what we're going to do here on Destination Pro Wrestling. As a reminder, make sure you guys click the link in the description or click the join button. $4.99 a month. You guys can support the channel. A lot of cool perks, guys. Don't miss out on it. Become a champion today with Destination PW. Now, for a very long time, people have been thinking of a specific WCW legend who was in negotiation for AEW. Now, with All Elite Wrestling, the announcement was actually not who you would have expected. If you guys don't remember, at All In, Cody Rhodes was accompanied by WCW legend Glacier. And now, today, we know that he will, in fact, be competing at the AEW Double or Nothing Over the Budget Battle Royale. Now, this is a very interesting move by AEW, considering that some people have been critical of AEW not bringing in some bigger names, but this is one I think that is actually very interesting. I don't think this is a move that will totally generate viewership for AEW. I don't think this is going to be anything more than engagement for social media. Obviously, Glacier competing for AEW in a Battle Royal match is a very interesting thing in 2019. It's something that a lot of people probably weren't expecting, but this is actually somewhat cool. And the most that this will actually do to benefit AEW is get people talking. Now, of course, this is where we have to criticize AEW just slightly. I'm not necessarily opposed to AEW not announcing bigger names, but so far, their roster hasn't been the most impressive thing that we've seen. I've asked other wrestling fans that I talk to on a daily basis, I just kind of asked them what they thought about the roster so far, and one of the biggest complaints that I'm hearing from my friends that I'm talking to is that this roster is made up of a lot of guys who can do flippy, cool things, and they're lacking some of the big stars that are needed for a pro wrestling program. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for athletes to be able to do a lot of cool, high-flying maneuvers, but I do think it is interesting that AEW hasn't signed too many heavyweights specifically. Now, I think this could actually be a really good thing having Glacier in the Battle Royal, just because he is a name. He historically has some value in his name, and obviously coming from WCW, it is pretty cool. Now, I know some people have been thinking that Goldberg would come to AEW. There has been negotiations. I haven't heard anything of that nature, but then again, with pro wrestling, anything is possible. The show is already sold out. I'm not saying AEW is going to bring Goldberg to the show, but it's not like you really have to promote it because the show sold out without that promotion, which this is where I have to give AEW props because, as you know, their roster is pretty thin. It's a good roster and it's an exciting roster, but they don't have too many talents that came from WWE, which obviously a lot of people thought was necessary. And I think that's why a lot of people are interested to see what happens with this roster specifically. Now, Glacier performing for AEW is unexpected. I didn't expect this news. I don't think a lot of people expected this news. And again, other than social media stuff, this is not that big of a deal. But it is cool to see that AEW signed a WCW legend. And I think this could lead to something bigger, and that's what I really want to talk about. I could see this leading to something bigger in regards to AEW announcing their TV deal with TNT or TBS. Now, we know that they've been talking to Turner Sports for a very long time. We actually reported on this 2 or 3 months ago on the channel, and it was very interesting hearing some of the feedback then compared to what people are saying now. So, obviously, for months, we've known that AEW was going to be part of Turner Sports at some point, and obviously, they're planning on announcing that sometime next month. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Glacier, being a former WCW guy, could potentially be involved in this. Obviously, I would prefer somebody a lot larger when it comes to the name, but look, at this point, take what you can get, do what you can do. And that's why Glacier going to AEW just doesn't do much for me. I'm excited to see what level he could compete at. if he's even going to do much more. Obviously, they're trying to get this battle royal packed with superstars and wrestlers from all over the world. I think this is going to be part of the pre-show, just like last year. I'm not too sure if that's officially been confirmed, but obviously Glacier having an entrance with Double or Nothing. I hope we see something cool with this. I really hope they bring some sort of nostalgia factor, because that could definitely be beneficial. Now let's talk about AEW signing a top indie talent. All right, let's talk about it. Darby Allin, you might know him from the independent scene. Lots of cool things that he's done on the independent scene. But today, before the Road to Double or Nothing episode was released, he posted a video on Twitter basically saying he's with AEW. And it was actually a really unique video for an announcement. And I got to give props to him and his editor for putting that out, because right now social media is such a big thing in the pro wrestling world. And, you know, if people aren't going to do it for you, you got to do it yourself. So kudos to them, because it definitely looks cool. It was a really cool reveal. I know some people aren't pleased with the idea that AEW is bringing in a lot of smaller guys. Now, I've seen Darby Allin compete for the very first time live last year in New Orleans at WrestleMania weekend. And I've seen some of the things that he did. And this guy is crazy, like literally crazy. He suffered a neck injury, came back into the match, and just straight up killed it. And I remember looking at Darby Allin, because I had seen some clips online prior to going to WrestleMania weekend. And I remember saying, man, I just got to check this guy out. And obviously I checked this guy out. I was like, you know, he would be a great fit for Impact Wrestling. He would be a great fit for NXT. He'd be a great fit for 205 Live. But, you know, the thing about WWE and AEW is it seems like they're putting their attention to a lot of the smaller guys. And I'm not opposed to the smaller guys like some of the people I've talked to. I just find it interesting that there hasn't been too many heavyweights specifically signed to the company. But Darby Allin moves and does a lot of things very similar to what you've seen with the cruiserweights and indie wrestling in 2019. So it's a really cool thing. A lot of flips, a lot of springboard, a lot of excitement, a lot of charisma. And if you don't know, Darby Allin also has a very interesting look. Now, I'm really excited to see where he fits with AEW, especially with AEW working with AAA, and especially with Oriental Wrestling, because with OWE and AAA, it sounds like the luchador style might be a very important and unique style that's implemented into AEW's sport-centric product. So I think this could be a very, very good move, considering how they do weight classes and how they balance that out. Because AEW said they would be going for more sport presentation, I don't know. I've never really considered this until making this video, and I would love to learn more about AEW doing this. But and maybe you guys agree or disagree, but tell me what you guys think about the idea of AEW doing weight classes similar to what we see in MMA, like Bellator and UFC and ONE FC. I think the idea of separating guys in weight classes, I know they only have like 43 total roster members, so I'm not sure if I love this idea, but you know, with all the luchadors in AAA, a lot of the talented people from OWE, I feel like AEW can do some really great things here. But then again, they are pretty light on the heavyweight side of things. So I'm not too sure what to necessarily expect here. But Darby Allin's a great pickup. And I know a lot of you probably haven't heard of Darby Allin, so make sure you guys look on YouTube, find some great clips. Trust me when I tell you guys, this is a great pickup. And I'm excited to see what AEW does with him. And ultimately, AEW is at a point where, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of roster members that just haven't been signed or announced. But it looks like they keep adding to this roster. And, you know, here on the channel, one of the biggest things that we're excited about is just having an alternative wrestling show. You know, having something to watch other than WWE, Impact, or Ring of Honor. Sometimes things get stale. And we know a little bit about the drama with Sasha Banks. If she goes to AEW, that's a great pickup. We talked about this on the channel yesterday. There's just so much momentum right now with AEW. And some people say we're fanboys or whatever, but at the end of this, you know, at the end of this discussion, I'm going to leave you guys with one thought. It doesn't matter what you're a fanboy of. Enjoy pro wrestling the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. And if you guys like somebody or dislike somebody or don't agree with me, you're not wrong for that. And I'm not wrong for disagreeing with you. I mean, that's the beauty of pro wrestling. So you can't tell me my opinions suck, or you can't tell me they're wrong, but you could tell me they suck, and that's totally different. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Darby Allin signed to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, including WCW Legend, Glacier, confirmed for Double or Nothing pay-per-view. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget, become a champion, $4.99 a month. And shout out to the 2 people that have already, signed up. Guys, this is the best fan base ever. We hit 20,000 subscribers. That's right, 20,000, 20K. Big milestone here on the channel. I'll see you guys next time for more pro wrestling coverage. This is Tony from Destination PW. I'll see you next time.